Title: The Voice in the Basement. In October 2019, a family moved into an old house in rural Pennsylvania. The house was cheap, quiet, and surrounded by woods. It seemed perfect. The family consisted of Mark, his wife Sarah, and their 12-year-old son, Ethan. For the first few weeks, everything was normal. Then Ethan started hearing a voice. At first, he thought it was the television. But every night, around 2:13 a.m., he heard someone whispering his name. Ethan. The voice always came from the basement. One night, Ethan told his parents. Mark laughed and said it was probably the pipes. But the whispers continued. A week later, Sarah heard them too. She was walking past the basement door when she heard a man's voice clearly say, "Open the door." She froze. Nobody else was home. The next morning, she told Mark. For the first time, he looked worried. That evening, Mark searched the basement. He found nothing unusual except an old wooden cabinet hidden behind shelves. Inside the cabinet were dozens of photographs. All of them showed the same house, but the photos were decades old. And in every photo, a dark figure stood in the basement doorway, watching. Mark threw the photos away. That night, the whispering became louder. Now everyone could hear it. "Come downstairs." The family stopped sleeping. 3 nights later, Ethan woke up screaming. His bedroom door was open. On the wall outside his room were muddy footprints. The footprints started at the basement stairs and ended beside Ethan's bed. There was no sign of an intruder. The police searched the house. Nothing. No fingerprints. No broken windows. No explanation. After that, Sarah installed security cameras. The next morning, they reviewed the footage. At exactly 2:13 a.m., the basement door slowly opened by itself. Then the camera glitched. For 17 seconds, the screen was completely black. When the video returned, Ethan was standing in front of the basement door, motionless, staring into the darkness. He had no memory of leaving his room. The family decided to move, but before they left, Mark wanted answers. He visited the town library. After hours of research, he discovered something disturbing. In 1974, a man named Daniel Harper had lived in the house. He disappeared without a trace. The police never solved the case. The last place he was seen was the basement. Mark also found an old newspaper article. According to witnesses, neighbors often heard Daniel talking to someone underground, someone nobody else could hear. That night, Mark returned home and checked the basement one final time. Behind a wall panel, he discovered a hidden space. Inside were old belongings and a small tape recorder. The recorder still worked. Mark pressed play. A frightened voice filled the room. "It's in the basement. It knows my name. If you're hearing this, don't answer when it speaks." Then the recording ended. Suddenly, a whisper came from the darkness. "Mark." He dropped the recorder. The voice had used his name. The family left the house the next morning. They never returned. Months later, the property was sold again. The new owners moved in. Everything seemed normal until exactly 2:13 a.m. on their 7th night. A child in the house woke up and heard a whisper from below. "Come downstairs." The end.